Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE NXT on July 27th, 2016, and they started off the show how they usually start off these shows, with an in-ring segment, and by in-ring segment I mean an actual match. The first match of the night was Shinsuke Nakamura against Wesley Blake. Obviously they've been breaking up the Blake and Murphy team, so they have him in singles competition with singles with going up against Shinsuke Nakamura. Blake has new music, everything like that. It was kind of it was what it was. It wasn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination. Nakamura wins the match, obviously, as you would probably expect him to go over in this case. But there were some good interactions in there, just between the two of them. Like, they did a spot where Shinsuke is kind of doing his flamboyant type stuff that he normally does, and then Blake tries to return it in favor. Favor tries to do the whole blow the kiss moment. So Shinsuke actually catches him and stomps on the ground for him. Good semi-comical interactions, but not really divvying away too much from the match itself. I found that very enjoyable. And after the match as well, Regal comes out and does announce that Shinsuke Nakamura that was going to go up against Samoa Joe for the NXT title at the next takeover in Brooklyn. So that's definitely going to be an interesting match. By interesting, I think that's going to be a damn good match to go along with everything. There, and I'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of the show to go along with everything. Up next, you have Billie Kay going up against Santana Garrett. They had Billie Kay go over here, and she had a new style gimmick, and I won't say gimmick, but a different style attitude where she was a little bit more full of herself, playing a little bit more heel. In this case, she ends out winning with a big boot. This was actually a pretty good match between the two of them. This was, like I said, this was a decent match between both sides here. Nothing to really complain about. Not too long of a match, but also for what they did, and there was a little bit of back and forth between the two of them. It was a pretty good one. One would hope that they are bringing Santana Garrett into the actual company at some point in time, because I've seen some of her stuff out in the indies too, and she's pretty good. So one would hope that they're going to bring her in at some point to as a full-time person down at NXT, and not just someone that they use on a sporadic occasions. So we'll see where they go with everything with that. Afterwards, they had a promo with Bayley and William Regal. The promo was basically, Bayley saying she wants her rematch. She's Regal's been there for her ups, her downs, her everything, and it's she knows she's ready for the rematch, and it's okay, we'll get the contract signing going. Pretty much it's confirmed. He plays it off I have to confer with Asuka on this one, but then we'll get the contract signing going and everything like that afterwards. So you're probably assuming a Bayley and Asuka rematch for TakeOver Brooklyn, and it should be a very, I won't say interesting, because the last match was really good. It will be a little bit. I won't say it won't be hard for them to top that one. I feel like they could have done more with the match. So we'll see how they go with everything, and they work another match at the next takeover. You had TM61 going up against another tag team in there, just a couple new guys coming in. Basically, TM61 wins. They're showing off their stuff, and there's an aspect that they are going with their characters, is that they show respect to each of their each team after they have a match. So that might be part of their gimmick or something like that. So we'll see how everything goes with that one. Up next, you had No Way Jose going up against Steve Cutler. Jose wins in what was a quick match, but you saw this whole aspect of him go into the fiesta dancing style even during the match, and then when he gets shoved in the face, he goes into this complete serious feel and just completely demolishes Cutler afterwards. He gets on the mic, cuts a very, very serious promo about who he is and everything on that aspect, and on Austin Aries. So, them continuing to set up that Austin Aries versus No Way Jose match. So we'll see how everything goes on that side of everything. I like where they're going with No Way Jose. He has this very fun and energetic style, and then he can snap into serious like that, like just like it's nothing to him in that sense of everything. So like I said, we'll see how everything continues on here down in the future. Up next, because you saw a promo beforehand, you had a promo between Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, and like he was going off. Murphy was going off as like they were going off of like, oh, you left me behind. No, you left me behind, and it's like you have a match with Shinsuke Nakamura, though. So I'm gonna go ahead and so Murphy decides to go ahead and challenge Kota Ibushi to a match in here. And the match between the two of them was actually a really good match. Most of the matches tonight were rather quick. They weren't probably any more than 7 to 10 minutes at any given point in time. Some even shorter than that. But the match between Buddy Murphy and Kota Ibushi was a really good match for the length that it was. It was, like I said, a rather quick one, but it came off as really good to go along with it. Both of them kind of complemented each other in their wrestling styles and how they went with everything inside of the match, and it came off really good. I enjoyed this match. I thought it was a good match. Obviously, they had Kota Ibushi win this match because he's doing everything with the Cruiserweight Classic and everything on that sense. And also, I think they're bringing him in too, so they had him go over Buddy Murphy in this case. Up next was the final aspect of the night, which was Samoa Joe coming out. He learns that he had just arrived in the arena, and he just had learned that he was going to get that he had to go up against Shinsuke Nakamura. Obviously, not happy about this. He's like, I'm going to go to the ring and confront everything about this. So he comes out there, says, does the normal bit like Nakamura's not a worthy number one contender. I'm not going to face him at TakeOver and everything in that sense, which prompts William Regal to come out. Obviously, going off the normal aspect that William Regal's the general manager, he makes the matches, blah, 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 blah. He says and everything that's in there. Like, Joe tries to force his hand and say, I'm not going to fight Shinsuke Nakamura. It's like, okay, well, if you don't want to fight that, consider that a forfeit. I'll strip you of the title, and we'll find someone else to fight Nakamura at TakeOver. So, obviously, at that point, Joe accepts and threatens Nakamura, which just does prompt Nakamura to come out, and they have their little stare down where Nakamura's at the ring, or at the entrance ramp, and Joe's at the ring. Nakamura does the whole aspect. It's like, I have you in my sights now and everything like that. Not a bad way to end the show. Well, not a bad segment, and obviously not a bad way to end the show there as well. They needed to get that announced with TakeOver only being 3 weeks away now, and I think it will be an interesting way to see how they're going to go about it. Obviously, they can play a storyline. It's like, oh, Joe's going to go after Shinsuke Nakamura in some way, or try to take him out before the big TakeOver special and everything like that. So we'll see how everything works with that storyline down the road here in the next upcoming weeks between the two of them. Overall, this was actually rather good. Considering that the matches were rather short in most cases, this was still a rather good NXT. I found it enjoyable, easy to watch again this week. So, with that being said, that is my review for WWE NXT this week. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.